Greetings, salutations, and other big words. My name's Ethan. My handle is Wrangler. Welcome to Frequency Studios for Weekly Wing It number 93 here on Rumble and YouTube. And starting it off with us tonight, Billy Bobsack.
Kaplow, kaplow, kaplow.
Kapla. And also with us tonight is...
The undead are planning to attack, and it's up to Gwendolyn the Gnome to deliver word to the humans before they're taken by surprise. Glimmerleaf, link in the description.
James Esparza. What's going on, James?
Hey, all is well. It's like the smallest panel we had in a while. Look at us. Got this entire place to ourselves.
It'll morph as the show goes on, like usual. And over in the chat side of things, we had Christy in first. She was here a little while ago. She said she'll return upon notification, so if her phone let her know, she'll be back. And joining us also is the ultimate Kahuna. What's up? He says, hey, you salty samba flappers. Says, his intro is fantastic, but we should make it short, just like him. All right, how tall is Billy Bob?
Who, me?
Yeah. I think Kahuna just called you short.
Ain't
That's not
that short, brother. That's Otter. I'll be right back.
All right. Thanks for the warning.
He'll be back. Yes. So, have you heard the news about Godot, which doesn't mean much to anybody, but if you're in the video game scene, they're a highly popular open source video game engine that just had their mass purge of non-woke.
Yeah, I didn't hear about it until I saw it was news today that they went kaput.
Yeah, they had moderators, as usually the case. And their moderators, particularly one, who was actually the moderator of what at the time they were calling the official Discord. Or was it subreddit? One of the two. Either or, this person went on a mass ban. I can't tell you how much. Could be over 100 people. And in the mix of it, they were banning everybody that had a statement to say regarding essentially a Twitter post, which it's kind of interesting how it always comes down to like a Twitter post where I'm not sure if it was this particular moderator who said it, the one that went on the mass ban, but they made a post saying it looks like this or that's going woke now, so are we. Go ahead and post your woke games. And people in the comment section were like, hey, how about you fix your engine? It has issues that have been there for years. Instead of making these virtue signaling points instead. And, well, they went about it and they started banning people. And amidst the banning, the actual creator of the engine came out and made a statement saying that, like, we're not going to ban somebody just because they have a problem with this, you know, and we're only going to ban people who are hateful and this and that. And people would literally take his statement, post it in the comment section, and they'd get banned for that. They'd get banned for quoting the creator of the engine.
Wow.
And then, because it gets lovelier, during this mass ban, this particular moderator comes out and shares with the world that they're banning like the filth of the earth, the absolute scum. Like they're using words roughly around this extreme, if you would, calling them like the worst of it. And this was like yesterday. Today, they came out literally like maybe a couple hours ago with the statement. And the statement was that they had a mass ban on a bunch of hateful people who were harassing their moderators. That's what they said. This is what they went with. That there's people out there harassing their moderators, or who are out there harassing, and their moderators got overwhelmed, and then there was a lot for them to deal with. And if you don't believe you're one of these hateful bigots, you can like fill out a form. It's a Google Sheet where you have to give them your email, even though on Google Sheets you actually don't have to put your email down. So it's interesting. They want your email, and then you can plead and write a little essay on why you shouldn't be banned and why you think it was bad. And the moderator, they said that they officially, like, this is them. They came out saying that the moderator in question was a moderator on a non-official forum, even though the forum for which it was posted was listed as their actual official, I believe it was Discord, you can go to and talk to them. So they tried to push it off, saying it was someone from a non-official one down the road, and that they condemned their statements. But the interesting thing is, when you look at the statement for which they condemn, it's a statement from like 2016 when they used the N-word. And it's like, okay, so you condemn their statements from 2016, but you're not condemning their statement that they made like yesterday, calling the entire user base bigots. And mind you, amongst those that got banned, it was this guy who was a platinum member. And a platinum member is not only somebody who gives them money, but shows out like $100 a month. That guy got banned.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they said they unbanned him, but from the word going around is they haven't unbanned that much people, and they haven't done any really major disciplinary issues with the moderators at all. But this is the first time.
You know what? Fuck them. Needs to be actual consequences. Fuck these faggots. They suck. No one likes them.
No, this isn't the first time there was crazy moderators. Like, I think it came out a couple months ago that they literally have, for subreddits at least, and maybe even Discords, a private woke moderator group where essentially the moderators will go around recommending each other, and then they'd all spread the woke mind virus through controlling the moderation of forums.
Yes. And you had a fucking moderator ban a dude who's giving you $100 a month.
They don't care, man.
They lost their
go.
They're not in it for your company. They're in it for the movement.
No. I'm not talking about the moderators not wanting to get fired. I'm talking about the fucking people who's running these little companies. They got to go. You got to get rid of them.
Well, it sounds like this whole engine's going kaput anyway, because I thought they went out of business entirely. But
no, they're not out of business.
It's only been like watching the video.
It's only been like a day, so they're not going to go out of business overnight. But it's funny enough. It reminds me of what Stalin did to take over freaking Russia. Was kind of the same, which is he was general secretary, and he put all his supporters in positions of power to sort of control things in various areas. That's kind of similar to this, the woke mind virus. And this one just went where all woke mind virus infestations go. And that is the mass purging of the non-woke to just completely ostracize them out of their hobby or subculture. In this case, even video game engine, which is a big one because people are making like very expensive projects and very time consuming and resource consuming projects with this engine that takes years, and then suddenly they go down this route and you end up getting banned. And they were not only getting banned on like one platform, it was mass banned across all platforms, including the ones where you'd essentially get your new updates and your codes from, and your code and a bunch of just where you'd share a lot of stuff with your community and you get access to a lot of the source code. And they were getting banned across all these platforms that could jeopardize their own projects. And just because the woke mind virus decided to explode right then and there. And who knows if it was planned or not, but it happened.
And it sounds like from what you're saying, a lot of these people getting banned weren't even saying anything hateful or anything like that. They were just like, well, hey, what about this issue? That's not a good way to run a business, and probably just pissed off a lot of creators that are going to be the future of the video game industry. So
yeah. Now, the good news is, since it's open source, people have made what they call the fork, which is essentially take the existing engine, completely separate the development, the best of my abilities. I'm sure I could be butchering this to some degree. Separate the development, separate it from everything that it was before, call it something slightly different. It's like, all right, this is us. This is our version of the engine, what we're doing over here. That happened overnight with at least one major project. So there's already a split in the engine. Like, they've already taken a clone of it and are now producing that, working off of that instead. That's separate from Godot. That may be what you've heard, and people kind of saying, "Oh, well, this destroys it overnight." We're not going to know for a while, and it might, but we'll see, because a lot of this stuff tends to get memory hold. I've seen this happen at least 3 or 4 times before, and each time it gets memory hold, and then slowly people who were unfamiliar with the woke mind virus and what it did, its first major purge, they come into what it is then, and there's like, oh, well, this is so cool. These people were so friendly. Let's just go with it. And then slowly culture forgets, and it just becomes a part of it. The husk re-enters culture, completely wiping out those who came before and saying, this is us now, this is us, we always were, and you can go ahead and join this version of this project or this pillar of society, a community, a hobby, a subculture, name it. I've seen it happen a number of times, and it's just going to happen again and again and again. And whenever you see a woke mind virus, this is their end goal. This is their end goal, is to wipe out those who came before, replace them with the wokesters and those who will just submit. And they continue on like they always were. It's like, oh, we're just getting rid of the filth. We're purging as we go. It makes it easier to control.
it sounds more and more like George Orwell's books, where it's like everything's a constant present. A lot of the history's been erased, and the only thing people know is what those in control want them to know.
And it's nothing new, because people forget this about 1984. 1984 was not about the future, though it was set in the future. It was about the year 1984. So this stuff is nothing new. It's a repeat with a different mask, reassimilated to the culture we've come to know. And here we are. We're seeing it all over again with our fresh eyes, though history, history's seen it before. So we'll see what happens. I'll kind of keep track of it, because this is going to take literally months to years before you really see the long-term effects of, hey, is this engine really going to just fall up to obscurity, or are people just going to slowly forget and move on? Because at the end of the day, when it comes to video game engines, you're talking about a subculture within a subculture. It's the gaming culture and the development culture underneath that. They're the ones ultimately being affected this on the indie side of things. So small people with not the largest voices, and they may just fall to the wind and be the only ones to remember. Like I said, I've seen it before. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, I watched a Melanie Mack video earlier today, and she was referring to being woke as a religion, and I think she's right. It has gotten, people are like religious about it, and
that's an ideology, that's for sure.
Yeah,
very very apprehensive. It's an ideology, a core component to their culture, and it's kind of like their mental filter for the world around them. And yeah, it's not good. It's funny too, because these developers, they say they want to be inclusive, so they kicked out a bunch of people, and they say that they were the ones being harassed, even though that like they came out calling them the worst things, like things that you reserve for your monstrous enemies, like your worst enemies. And this is the stuff that they're spewing out. They're saying they're here to help. They're here because they want to be inclusive. They're the most divisive, most non-inclusive people, and the ones who harass more than anybody else. They're two-faced liars. Their words should never be accepted.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. On the surface, they're like, "Oh, yeah, we want to stop prejudice and bigotry," yet they'll sit there and drive wedges between the ethnicities like nobody else.
It's their prejudice. They're bigots. It's
and they think they're right.
It's all about power. That's all it is. It's all about power and being in control. Because once they're in control, then they can fix all the world's issues. Or some of them don't even care. It's just about the power.
A lot of them, I think, is just about going with the flow.
But the funny thing is about one of the moderators for that game. They're doing all that virtue signaling, and they have like straight up proof of them like spamming the N-word and all kinds of other shit and racist stuff.
That's what they were apologizing for. Was the stuff in 2016? So, yeah, and that's usually who this is behind the scenes. It's the most dangerous people you don't want to be around. That's usually who these people are.
That is unfortunate. Kahuna asks, if you guys released a special edition of your book, what would you want to include? Well, it's not realistic, but I'd love to include a video game. But
right? You know, it might be because they have video game engines today, because we were talking about video game engines. There's just really a lot of them. There's a lot of indie engines out there. You can make games for previous consoles like Nintendo 64 or Game Boy and stuff. I mean, you might be able to make a small little Game Boy game and then add the cartridge in there as like a memorabilia / actual functional game. The little 5-6 mini game things goes through the best moments of the books, maybe. But of course, that's just an idea down the road, but completely doable.
Yeah. Well, the problem is my lack of know-how.
Yeah, you'd have to hire somebody. Couldn't tell you how much that would cost, but who knows?
More than I have.
A good idea would just be, honestly, market your book over and over again. Let it speak for itself continuously, and let the fan base grow. You got to. Some people got to let the spice flow. Writers got to let the fan base grow.
That's what I'm doing. And I still imagine one day doing a Smash Bros. Style beat 'em up thing where with all the characters, and then start including characters from your guys' books too. Like,
yeah,
Scones, what's up, man?
If I were to release the book, I would put a map inside. But how you doing, Raven?
Good. I guess I missed the Godot discussion.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's fresh. You go ahead, drop your 2 cents in. It was just kind of me rambling most of the time.
Yeah. Kahuna, interior illustrations, definitely. I'd like to do more of those. And Kahuna, I would, if I ever make that beat 'em up game, I definitely want to make a character based on you who's got super powered wrestling moves and hydrokinesis.
I think if I were to ever do something like Leatherbound, that would have to be like, this is the 8th book, or a re-release of the top 15 stories or something. It'd have to be something special.
Oh yeah, I forgot to play these.
You get criticized either way. I tried both ways. I had to pull something out of my butthole, and that was the best I could come up with. Oh yeah, AC, it was your fault I was shirtless at that party, too. He came out, give me a hug, and it exploded. It went everywhere. And then I was shirtless for 6 hours. That was fun.
Zingers. Zingers all around.
what was funny was as you were playing that last one, Gahuna's comment on the screen, "Woo!" It said, "Bet you're gonna love it." Hit that button again, Bob. Billy Bob. See how it lines up with his.
Oh yeah, AC. It was your fault. I was shirtless at that party too. He came out, give me a hug, and it exploded. It went everywhere. And then I was shirtless for 6 hours. That was fun.
That lines up great.
Animation Overload. What's up, man?
Hey, Animation.
Skunk says, Ethan, my team entered a 2-week game jam. You want in? That sounds like fun, but I would have no idea what I'm even doing. That's actually kind of why I have a book now. I couldn't make the game, so I wrote it down.
I don't know. Probably interior illustrations, maybe like one every other page, and then like colored ones as well throughout.
An ad lib version of it, with a bunch of blanks in there. Yeah, go in and just do that Mad Libs thing through the whole book.
As you do all that, yeah.
But James, you suggested a map. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Although mine would probably have to be a side view map. I actually have a side view map of the complex underneath, rough map of it. I had to make that map out just to keep track of where they go as they were going through the underground complex. It's not.
You
It's
can
not
actually do it as a fold-out poster.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah, the one I have wouldn't. It's like I said. It's a rough map. If I did a map like that in a special release, it would have to be redone by a pro. This thing was very, very basic. But I needed it to make sure I was keeping proper track of where what characters were at what time.
Right.
A 2-week game jam, though. That does sound like fun. I wish I had half a clue what I was doing.
And evidently, we got hit by a hurricane over the weekend.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Thankfully, heard from Otter, heard from Stormcrow. Who else do we know in Florida that we haven't heard of it from yet? Did you guys see the what happened to McCoppin stuff? All his books got soaked.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
That looked like
Wow.
I saw that. It was like a punch in the stomach. I
Yeah.
hurt for him,
Better get some of those quick dry towel.
My state did fine until East Tennessee got fucking hit. They're like flooded all out,
No.
which is a bit ironic because they're in the mountains. Yeah.
I hope my books are all right. I got some books traveling through Pennsylvania.
Through Pennsylvania, you're probably okay.
I don't
know for certain, but probably. But yeah. Keep all the folks in Florida in your prayers. I guess a lot of people went missing that they haven't found yet. That hit them harder than usual.
Yeah,
Wow.
I saw a map and it's like red through just
Really?
a whole swath of the country. It's like multiple states.
Oh, wow. So it's that. I didn't realize it was that bad.
Yeah, my aunt she's up in the hills outside of Asheville, North Carolina, and they're kind of stuck where they're at because they've unofficially closed all roads in North Carolina in that area. They're trying to fix the interstates first, and then they'll get on with other stuff.
Okay. All right. My books are safe, though. They're in Las Vegas. Yeah, I got a book, Men Who Stare at Goats. I watched the movie, and I didn't think it was that good, to be honest. But the book seems more interesting.
I've learned if there's a movie based on a book, watch the movie first, then read the book. If you read the book first, then watch the movie, you tend to end up disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah. The book is not really a story-based book. It's kind of like a document, going through documents and stuff. The
It's
movie,
epistolary.
yeah, and the movie is just taking all that, turning it into a movie. a comedy, and I don't think it worked that well because it had terrible storytelling.
My ride is here. Bat Sauce says, beep, beep. Billy Bob is gay. Yeah. Christina says, I'm eating hot pepper stuffed with, I don't know how to say that word, and cheese. Anybody want one? And Kahuna says, do you want to kill me, Christina?
Yeah, so I happened to get my hands on unlimited video AI, and I've been generating like a madman. I'm not going to reveal it, but I did make a complete AI trailer for a particular property that I've been bouncing back and forth with frequency. I sent you a link. You don't have
I
to-
watched it. Yeah, it looks. These things look like they look like teaser trailers for an upcoming video game.
Thank you. It's just for fun, but I'm soon going to shift all that towards World Without End, and those you will see, and they're going to be much more exciting. Hope you can't hear too much background noise. There's someone playing with a dog on the other side of this wall.
I haven't even noticed it at all, so you're good.
Perfect.
Oh, and just to fill the dead air,
Jewish space laser.
always got to play that one. Yeah. Let's throw on some background tunes here. And we'll go with Overgrowth to start with.
Yeah, I also support open carry swords, but I also support bringing back dueling.
Yep, the Ultimate Kahuna says, I'll join in a bit, but I'm currently nude. I thought you were always nude.
There
What's
you
up? The Lore Raider says, afternoon. What's up,
Evening.
man? Oh, must be over on the West Coast or something. It's evening here. Yeah,
Yeah,
so I didn't even know Kahuna had clothes.
The Kahuna Nader burger person.
Got to put on his grass skirt.
Yeah,
Well, there's like symbology behind that, isn't there, Kahuna? The grass skirt, it all has a special meaning.
sure it does. Probably something.
Oh, I
healthy.
see. AC Pritchard showed up. You know,
I get it.
but
This
damn, I haven't
reminds
been
me
paying
of-
attention to anything. So like, it was just raining a lot, and I went, oh, and they're like, oh, it's a hurricane. I was like, oh, yeah,
Oh, geez.
didn't know that.
I only had one hurricane in my entire life, and that's the one that hit the Pacific coast here.
I get hurricanes here on a somewhat regular seasonal basis, but what really hits my area are the nor'easters. Those things hit us harder than the hurricanes. But hey, if anybody's interested in Metroid lore, Tomb Raider lore, or Bayonetta lore, check out the Lore Raiders channel. He does a lot of stuff. And dude, I saw that series you did with Bayonetta, where I at least saw the one where you went through Bayonetta with just the sidearm. And then I just saw your one where you did Bayonetta 3 as a Pokemon trainer. That was funny.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, he didn't actually directly fight the enemies. He did everything by summoning, like he was just using Pokemon.
Yeah.
He laid out a whole bunch of rules and actually got himself in a tight spot near the end there, but he pulled through.
Also, I'm gonna have your cat attack you. 1, 2, 3.
Lucky me, he wasn't in the room right now.
Damn it. Someone needs to send this. We can go ahead and play it before we forget. Where's it at? There it is. Someone needs to send these type of weapons, you know.
Jewish space laser.
That's right. Okay.
All right.
That copied.
Lasers. Find my Jew lasers.
I just put the link to Lore Raiders channel in the chat.
Yeah, Christian, you're supposed to do your job. Supposed to be dropping the links.
Skunks, I think we hit the enter button at the same second.
Which one?
Oh, I put the link in the chat at the same time Skunks asked for someone to put the link in the chat.
Oh boy. Oh, and of course, Assassin's Creed Shadows delayed till February 2025 on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, Valentine's Day for the ladies and the gentlemen.
Well, since we're talking video games, Metroidvanias, and Skunk's Workshop, let's play this one again.
Oh, how creative.
Ultimate Kahuna says, I'm the eye candy Billy, just me and my kahunas.
It's very highbrow video game trailer.
Dead Broadcast has joined us. Welcome, Dead. He says, what?
Hello, Dead
I'm
Broadcast.
gonna play this
Hello.
clip one more time since Christian pull up his comment again.
Play it.
Let me find it.
Play the clip.
You get criticized either way. I tried both ways.
Funny. Still
You
funny.
do try both ways, Christian. You do try both ways.
He eats Skittles and M&M's.
Lord
You had-
Ranger asks, question, if you had to live in any sci-fi as a normal person, which series would it be? Probably Star Trek.
This one's pretty weird.
Star Trek would be fucking awful. What are you talking
No,
about?
as a normal person, that means I'm not.
Yeah. As a normal person, which means you're constantly having to worry about, oh, the Cardassians, the Klingons, the fucking Romulans, the Dominion, the
Dude,
fucking
I live
Borg.
in New England. They
Listen.
never go there.
Earth has been attacked multiple times by forces, so even if you're on Earth.
Yeah, but look what happened. Tripp's hometown in Florida got wrecked. San Francisco gets wrecked. Whatever happened to New England? Nothing.
You got blown up.
The weather wrecks New England all the time, so nobody else bothers with us.
You know what? Fuck it, Mass Effect. Just because I'll get turned into a fucking best by the Reapers.
Wow. I mean, or nothing. No, they do make it to Earth. Part 3.
Ironically, some of my favorite sci-fi games to play in are not realities I'd want to live in.
Now, the
Yeah.
easiest answer is Stargate because it takes place in our own universe. So,
We're practically already there.
yeah, the only difference is you'd be defended by, the Stargate program.
You
Didn't
get
they
stuck,
blow up Florida?
you get stuck in Starship
Stargate?
Troopers.
Starship Troopers well, it depends who you are. Like
Depends where you are when the meteors hit.
Yeah, because it's not that bad to be in. If you're not a citizen, you don't vote, you don't participate in politics, you can own your own small business, you can criticize the government.
Christina says next gen era. I would agree with that.
How about the worst ones? What's the worst ones? Besides
Warhammer.
Besides that one. That's
Oh,
just the-
Warhammer.
Honestly, Metroid would be tough to live in because
yeah.
the space pirate attacks are just horrific.
I'm still gonna go with Mass Effect.
I want to take a bunch of Metroids and just release them in the wild in the Warhammer universe.
I think Aliens is pretty bad because if you're not getting, even if you never encounter an alien, you're just stuck in this vast space of conglomerate, multi-corporate imperialism.
Halo would suck.
Yeah,
Oh,
Halo's
good one animation. Futurama.
Star Wars would be pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, also where you are in Star
Well,
Wars. the big
no, I'm
universe.
gonna disagree with Star Wars because you can go to the Outer Rims and be fine. Like most out of all the conflicts that go
Well,
on.
Lore Raider says, "What? You don't have faith in the Federation? When have they ever failed the people?"
Well, in the Outer Rim,
Federation
you
just like that.
probably end up in a slave pit somewhere.
And what?
Lots of slaves in Star Wars.
Yeah. But
I
that's
could give
the
you
universe.
one good reason you wouldn't want to live in the Star Wars
You,
universe.
you could end up as a slave in Star Trek, man.
Yes, but here's something horrific that Star Wars has that Star Trek does not. Well, actually, Star Trek could replicate this technologically, as proven with what they did to O'Brien in that 20-year prison in 20 minutes. But I was thinking the Sarlacc pit. That just sounds
Yeah, but that's on
pretty bad.
Tatooine.
horrible.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah,
have to
you know,
avoid Tatooine.
Billy's got a point there. We have like black holes in our universe, and we're never afraid of them because there's just galaxies away and shit. Just don't go to Tatooine. Just don't.
You just avoid Tatooine. You're like, you're fine.
Yeah, you're far enough away as it is.
Yeah, if you're in Tatooine, you're like, what's that? It's a Sarlacc pit. That's what happens when Monsanto gets out of control.
Plus, people actually forget this, but like Star Wars technically takes place in our galaxy, like not our galaxy, but in our dimension, so to say. Like it's in a faraway galaxy a long, long time ago. It already happened. Those people have been dead
Yeah.
for hundreds of years.
Now,
So-
wasn't the lore actually that humans came from our era Earth that went through a wormhole back into the past, and that's where the
I don't
Sun
know.
galaxy came
I
from?
don't know.
I don't know. And then, frankly, I don't want
I've
to know.
not heard that part.
Skunk says, as a regular person, I would totally choose Halo.
I guess. I mean, I'm sure he probably knows more about Halo. It's like there's this one place, this one area, or most places in Halo are actually pretty legit. You just play the asshole.
Yeah, but
and
you're
far-
under like constant threat from the Covenant at any moment.
That's most universes, even ours.
And
You're
Amicia says Tron would be fun.
you have to deal with the Oni and shit, the totally not corrupt government in Halo.
Well, we already have that ourselves. I mean,
You have to
Maybe,
wonder if your 6-year-old child really died from the flu or was kidnapped to become a Spartan.
GOT. I'm not.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones?
Oh,
Yeah, but we're talking about sci-fi, not fantasy.
Yeah, it's like science fiction, dear lady.
Yeah.
just live wherever Samus is living. Yeah, it's about as safe as you can get. Just don't go on the missions with her; those get pretty hairy. Unless your name is Joey, then you can hack it. Let's see. I was about to address something. I forgot what. Dang it! I hate
You're
my
gonna
old
address
brain. A little too forgetful.
Also, Christina, why would you want to live in Game of Thrones? That'd be an awful place.
Uh,
Remember, you're a normal person, so you're a peasant. You're not a lord or a lady. You're a peasant. Keep in
So
mind.
I dropped the fact that I was getting this T-shirt in the Iron Age Media Discord, and he looked it up, and he found a blog post about the law getting changed back in 2017 about the fact that now you can open carry swords, any long blades, including things like halberds and such. And he was like, "Oh, wow." And he pinged his wife, and he was like, "We're going to have to hold off on your birthday gift because I have an order to make."
Hold up, Skunks. What was your original answer? What was it? Oh, Halo.
It's,
No, he's
yeah.
trying to. No, you can't change your decision. You're stuck with Halo.
yeah, we know what happens if we put Samus in the Star Wars universe, though, right?
No.
Power of one, the power of two, the power of many. The power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
And she saved the animals.
This is Metroid, Christina. You know what, James? I thought of one.
Yeah.
Yes, the power of many power bombs.
EVE Online would be shit because you find out that your leader who's overlooking your sector went to war because the other leader said his mom's fat as fuck, you know?
Yeah.
She's so
EVE
fat.
Online is pretty bad. There's some really bad ones out there. Some really bad ones. I think Dead Space definitely near the top.
Well, it depends. Are we like including Dead Space 3 into the lore?
I don't like it's official canon, so yes. So
Okay, then that would be nightmares because you got like the fucking necromorph moon gods, whatever.
Yeah. It's confusing a little bit too.
Yeah,
Other
there's
than
a
that-
universe everyone's overlooking.
Well, that's also
Yeah.
like not really, because you barely come in contact with them. If you're not a warrior of any kind, it's not even
Yeah.
going after you.
And you're a normal person, so you're like not competent enough for them to even
No.
like.
If you want to rope them in with the Alien versus Predator universe, I don't know. Maybe. I don't think I
Well, at
leave
that
enough for
point, they
them to
might
be a threat.
use you to, birth the xenomorph.
Maybe. We don't know that. I live in a quite industrial area. I doubt they'd come here.
All right, hold on.
Luna says Dead Space would be bad. War Raider says, which sci-fi parasite disease would y'all take your chances with? I don't know. I don't want to mess with any of them.
The Tok'ra. The Tok'ra.
Stargate. The Tok'ra from Stargate.
Yeah, the Tok'ra from
Good guys.
Stargate. They not only good guys, but they extend your life. They make you stronger.
Yeah.
You get to chill with them all the
Well,
time.
that sounds more like a symbiote than a parasite.
They're considered
Yeah.
parasitic in nature. They're
Yeah.
very parasitic in nature.
They are a parasite, but it is a symbiosis. And the Tok'ra do share the body with the original person.
Yeah, and then you expand your life upwards to 200 years.
This is able to interact with humans.
But yeah, like it's kind of crazy. But it's like y'all can just take control one after the other. It's like, man, I don't want to deal with this. You want to deal with this guy? It's like, fine, I'll talk to him. I guess you could say it's a bit of a multi-personality thing where everybody's sharing the microphone.
Kona says he would burst out of a xenomorph's chest. Oh, you see just him cracking out the chest going, woo!
Is that the goo that was getting all over the place?
Are you saying we have to be bonded with the symbiote, or
No,
we take our chances fighting the parasite?
I guess he just said you take your chances with. Another good thing about the Tok'ra is if you didn't want them in there, they'd most likely leave. They'd all right.
They only want to be where they're wanted.
Kind of, yeah.
You know what? I'll
If
go
you
with
need
the
another
wormhole
host, yeah.
aliens. I'll go with the wormhole aliens from PS9.
Wormhole aliens. No
Yeah,
diseases?
prophets.
They're technically parasites.
Yeah, how about diseases? Let's get some diseases in there. Trying to think of some.
Hmm.
You know what? The genophage from the Mass Effect, mainly because I'm not a Krogan, so it doesn't affect me, and I can take my chances all day with it.
There you go.
Albeit I don't know if it
Well, I guess
technically
so.
can be considered a disease.
Can you catch it?
I mean, Krogans can.
Okay.
I mean, they're giving it to them where they can't reproduce as much.
In space.
Technically
No one
spread
can hear
through the
you.
air.
Woo!
It's technically spread through the
Vampirism, werewolfisms.
air. But is that sci-fi?
I have seen at least one sci-fi vampire movie.
Could you imagine living in the Marvel universe, though? Just like
Oh, that would
being a
suck.
New Yorker there. Just
That would
every
suck.
other week, some weird
That would
off the
be
wall world and an event is happening in your hometown. It's like
First
Yeah.
of all,
You know what? I'll go with the shitty black clay or black goo shit from the really awful Alien Covenant Prometheus, just because I'd actually be smart and wear protective gear while on the mission.
I suppose as long as it's fully covered, you should be good.
Hey, here's a mysterious black goo.
Yeah, that's literally what they did.
Did they really?
They went on a fucking. Oh my god, Alien Covenant is one of the worst movies I've seen. Went to me and my grandma went and watched it. It's an awful movie. It's so fucking stupid. The characters are absolutely fucking retarded. They go onto another planet, don't check anything, and they just walk out and they're like, "Oh, it's breathable air." I'm sure there's no fucking diseases or anything that we can catch while we're down here. No, just leave your mask off and everything. Just breathe it. You'll be fine.
Well, at least I'd be happy to know that Spider-Man was to blame, thanks to J. Jonah Jameson.
Yay.
I think there was a film theory or something done by Matt Pat a few years back about how J. Jonah Jameson was right.
Huh? That's funny.
On what?
The Spider-Man's a menace. And then he went through and listed all the technicalities of how Spider-Man's breaking the law and doing it all wrong.
Well, I mean, he's a vigilante, which is against the law. That's all superheroes.
On top of that, let's be honest, the law is quite bloated.
Look, a creepy alien egg. I'm going to poke it with a stick. Actually, let's see if we get throw them in a frying pan. Some bacon.
To be fair, he didn't know it was an alien. He just thought it was some weird fucking shit.
Yeah, and let's be fair. We all, as humans, poke things with sticks. That's the most believable part of that movie.
No, the other believable part was Ripley saying, "Yeah, protocol says we can't open the door."
Yeah, they totally should have listened. Totally should have listened to it, man.
What I love about Alien is just Ripley's starts off as kind of a bitch cunt, when you see her.
Yeah, doesn't look likable.
And technically she's right. Like, she was the smart one of the group, being like, "Yeah, hey, he's got something on his face. We're not supposed to allow you in."
Yeah. She knew.
What about Ghostbusters? Does Ghostbusters count as sci-fi or fantasy?
Oh, that's totally science fiction, bro. That's science fiction. Yeah, there's what was it? Half in a Bag called that one of the most conservative science fiction films, or a conservative science fiction film.
Event Horizon would actually be an okay universe to be in.
As long as you're not on that ship.
Yeah, as long as you don't come in contact with the
That's a lot of universes. That's a lot of universes. Just don't come in contact with the evil.
Now, let's change up the scenario. You're a normal person, but you're put in the situation to deal with the shit in that universe. So you can't just be like, "Oh, well, I can avoid it." Like Alien, you're gonna encounter an alien. No ifs, ands, and buts about it, It's gonna happen.
Okay, that's hard.
Is Avatar sci-fi? It's sci-fi, but it's also a ripoff of Pocahontas. To the point where I'm saying maybe this is plagiarism.
It's a copy of what?
Pocahontas.
Oh, okay. Now I get. I was sitting here thinking, how is Avatar I was thinking the wrong Avatar. I was thinking Last Airbender.
Or is she asking about The Last Airbender? I think she's talking about Avatar.
I think she's talking about James Cameron's version, the giant blue Smurf people.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on, I guess, what the fuck he's going up against. Like, if he's going against Doomsday, I'm like, I don't care that your fucking skyscraper got flattened. This dude will destroy everyone.
However, the Punisher goes overboard. Although he tends not to have too much collateral damage, to be fair. He does keep the damage toward the bad guys.
Pocahontas 3000. Pretty much that's what Avatar is. Like, I'm not even bullshitting. Go watch Avatar and then go watch Pocahontas.
Yeah.
And like, oh, these are the same movies.
I guess so. Yeah, Space Poke. I always considered it more Space Fern Gully.
Oh, I know what universe is great. Spaceballs.
Jetsons.
Spaceballs the flamethrower. Kids
Until you have
love
to
this
buy
one.
the oxygen.
How about RoboCop?
Well, that's pretty bad. It's kind of like right now.
Death Wish.
Comes down to the individual.
But if you're the one that has to
You'd
deal
love
with the
to be an
situation,
avatar.
let's say you're the one that has to deal with the situation in a hostile environment. You had to choose.
Yeah, in that case, I'm going with the Jetsons.
And it has to be a hostile environment.
Oh,
Yeah,
well.
you can't have the Jetsons. Matter of fact, I want people in the chat. Y'all recommend each of the worst sci-fi universes. We're gonna have to pick between them.
Okay, there we go. The chat would choose.
That's right. The chat will give us the choices we have.
So is Samus a hero? Yes, because she saved the animals.
She's a hero to somebody.
Mars.
What about Farscape?
Farscape,
Ooh, that'd be
yeah.
fun.
You have to deal with the mining and animal killing.
And
I never seen Farscape. I'm sorry. I don't know what else they do.
John Carter. That wouldn't be bad. Also, you get to look at what's her name's tits all the time. Yeah. Besides Warhammer 40k, we're not putting it in there. It's just,
Yeah, that's a given. Warhammer's up there.
all right, we're crossing that off the list. The movie Mars. Which movie is that? Is that one with the mother? Like it's a kids movie.
Mars needs mothers.
I hate that. I've never watched that movie. I just remember it constantly like regurgitating the trailer for it.
Are you talking about Red Planet or The Martian or?
Yeah, I remember a couple of different Martian movies. Like the one where.
Mission to Mars.
Mars?
All right, Christina, you got to tell us the movie. Give us a little bit more on it because I have no clue what you're talking about. Total Recall would also count.
Which is not a bad world if you're on Earth, it seems.
Yeah, until you go to fucking Mars and you got well, I mean you do got 3 titty, so yeah, that's not too bad.
Mars
If
needs
you go to Mars and Doom, you're probably having a bad day.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Doom. Well, hold up. In defense of Doom, as long as they're not opening the portal, you're fine. You're just a UAC worker. Yeah.
Oh, what about that TV series? Dang it, now I can't remember.
Invasion.
The
It was a fairly recent one, and it had like the Earthers, the Martians, and the people in the outer belt.
Oh, you're talking about damn it, what is it? Based off of
Firefly?
it's based off of a book series.
Yeah.
Thomas James in it, I believe.
Also, you're smoking like crack, Kahuna. I don't know that much about Doom, but I'm pretty sure it's not a fun time.
Yeah, he's not on that planet there. I forget what it's called. I've been meaning to check it out. Wrangler, you know what it is.
Yeah, it was a pretty good series.
Firefly?
No, it was recent, based off of a book, very long book series. Infinite or something like that.
Oh,
I read the first book.
The Fifth Element wouldn't be bad either.
Yeah, Fifth Element. She had to deal with the big evil.
Yeah.
Lore Raider asked about Castlevania at the end of its timeline. I'm not too familiar with it because I stopped playing the series after the Super Nintendo. Didn't the timeline like end up in the 1980s by the end of it? I think.
The Expanse. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Animation
never watched
Overload got it. The Expanse was good.
I read the first book and I enjoyed it, and I've been meaning to check out the show because one of my favorite characters is played by Thomas Jane, which I thought, all right, perfect, nice. It's basically a sci-fi version of the medieval system. There are chances for advancement in some planets. Even a lonely person can live well. Even a lonely person can live well.
What else is there?
Jason X.
The what?
Jason X.
I mean, technically it counts because
yeah,
there's sci-fi in that one.
Yeah, evil gets an upgrade. Let's see. Lore Raider says it goes well past the 2000s and becomes futuristic. Doubt any of you would want to deal with that. Probably. Oh, Treasure Planet. That could be fun.
Underworld?
Underworld? Maybe. I don't know how the human life is really affected that much by vampires and werewolves.
Yeah, Matrix would suck. Yes, I agree with that, Kahuna.
Yeah.
Can I cheat and say the Bad Kitty universe?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, it's soft sci-fi.
Is Matrix really sci-fi?
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
They all live in cyberspace pretty much, and they don't even realize it.
Yeah.
Fight robots.
Yeah, and in the real world, there's the giant robots and stuff, and they're in, what is it, submarines or something?
Hold up, Matrix wouldn't suck because at least if you know, you can just do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where they had to go rescue Matt Damon. Or Interstellar, where they had to go rescue Matt Damon, and he went nuts.
Matt Damon.
Or Saving Private Ryan, where they had to go rescue Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Oh, you know what I'm gonna throw in there? Would suck actually the Mark Wahlberg Planet of the Apes movie.
Oh yeah, that's not.
Listen, I love the movie, but it is a shit movie.
How about Battlefield Earth?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about the book. I know the movie is bad, but
Helldivers.
Cyberpunk 2077. That would be a very glitchy world, wouldn't it?
That was a letdown of a game.
But the world actually wouldn't be that bad in Cyberpunk, to be honest with you. Just stay away from Night City. There you go. You're fine. You're no bad.
I definitely don't want to end up in Raccoon City.
That's right. Or Beaver City.
Or anywhere on the planet in the movie series. Ninja Turtles.
Isn't there like a cyborg feature? Oh, I know which one. Hellraiser.
Just don't play with any weird looking Rubik's cubes and you'll be fine.
Terminator.
Was that the one with Van Damme?
The what?
Cyborg.
Cyborg.
Universal Soldier?
Yeah, Universal.
There was Universal Soldier, but there was also one that was called Cyborg.
I don't remember that one.
And I believe it had Van Damme in it.
I don't think I saw that one.
Dragon Ball Z technically actually counts. Albeit, I mean, to be fair, you're probably going to die multiple times, but you'll be brought back.
Aeon Flux.
Yeah, like...
Yeah, Cyborg was a 1989 movie with Van Damme.
Oh, you know what? You got to remove Frequency because he didn't even save this, and it's his quote-unquote favorite franchise, Oh, you said you love Transformers. You didn't even put it up there.
A lot of kids' universes would be a flip of a coin. Like Pokemon would be fun.
Are we having to count like the movie?
Me Grimlock kicks butt.
Copyright.
Borderlands where no one's a good guy.
I got copyright claim on my Transformers 1 review because of the music. And it said, doesn't affect your channel, but it can't be seen in Russia. I'm like, I don't think the movie's showing in Russia, so who cares?
Who cares? Yes, Van Damme is in it.
The Godzilla verse would be a shitty place to be a normal person.
I'm assuming you are talking about Universal Soldier.
No, Cyborg.
I haven't seen it.
You know what, Raven? You're gonna have to like pull the movie up.
Yeah, I believe it exists. I mean, there's literally a movie where Van Damme plays alongside. Damn it, what's his name? The guy from the movie Animal.
Rob Schneider?
Yes, he plays alongside Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider.
Yeah, that movie exists. It's called Rip Off or something like that.
Rip Off?
They sold pants that were counterfeit. They sold counterfeit pants, and they somehow got caught up in some sort of big old drug deal. Don't watch the trailer because it gives away too much, but it exists. Damn, what is that movie called? Cyborg.
Gotta do this properly.
Oh yeah, I guess he was also in Universal Soldier.
Oh yeah, he was.
You never watched Universal Soldier?
There's like 5 Universal Soldiers.
It's very schlocky.
Well, Total Recall.
I said Total Recall.
Oh, I missed it. My bad.
I actually like Universal Soldier, the first one and the third one, and the second one's fun, but you know, it's the second one.
Total Recall wouldn't be that bad. Like
as a
the
normal
only bad
person,
part would be if you're stuck on Mars, because then you can like mutate and shit.
Yeah.
Other than that, you're fine. Be a pretty chill universe, being, you know. Also, Goldie-Cott's in the
Knockoff. That was the Van Damme Schneider movie. It's called Knockoff.
Oh, okay. I have heard of it. I think I saw 15 minutes of it, but I never actually got to sit and watch it.
It's a comedy.
Thoughts on the new Batman show, The Penguin? I saw like the opening, like the first 4 or 5 minutes. It looked all right.
People
I just
like
don't
it.
know why we're wasting a time on a Penguin show.
Is that where Batman and Robin are into each other?
What? No, it's just focuses on the Penguin. You're thinking of like the cartoon for kids.
So it's what's his name? Colin Farrell, who played the Penguin in the fucking Twilight Batman movie.
I guess it's more of just a
Prequel.
crime mob drama than anything.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. DC's so fucking stupid. It's like, all right.
But they actually they just released a documentary about Superman. I heard it's pretty good. It was the first flick to be released underneath Gunn's supervision, but they released it on the darn, what's his name? The guy who got his back broken.
Batman, Bane.
No, I mean in real life. Fell off a horse. Superman.
Oh, Christopher Reeves.
Yes, it's about the Christopher Reeves Superman. It kind of, yeah. So, and I've heard it's pretty good. I haven't checked it out.
Superman and Lois or a different one?
The Christopher Reeves movies.
Oh, it's a documentary movie about Christopher Reeves and him playing Superman.
Yes.
I heard it was actually kind of inspiring. I haven't seen it.
Yes, people said it's inspiring, and then like nerds were crying and shit. Old school classic nerds were crying and shit.
So are you meaning like Lore Raider? Are you saying the show is called Cape Crusader? Is it like an animated live action?
The Cape Crusader, I believe, is the animated one, which is woke. It's more about Barbara Gordon, I believe.
Oh god.
Oh,
yeah, they don't have to wokeify it to make her cool. She's always been kind of cool.
Yeah, but we know why they're doing it. It isn't because we want to do a Batgirl show. It's more than that. We know. We're done. I've seen it.
It's a Batman show that focuses more on Barbara Gordon.
Batman the Animated Series, I think, is peak Batman.
I'm a little
that was
tired
good.
of Gotham, Rio. I'm a little tired of Gotham. Get me away from Gotham.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, Bloodsport was good.
Bloodsport was good, yeah. That the Kumite song, fun fact, was sung by Stan Bush, who also
Really?
does a lot of the Transformers music. Bloodsport, yeah.
Oh wow.
Uh-huh. He did some songs for
Stan
that.
Bush still rocks.
He did some songs for that one, and he actually, there's a small story I heard him say during an interview where they were talking about the Bloodsport music, and he said that he wasn't ever on set or anything like that. He did the music set, far away. But one day he got the chance to meet Jean-Claude Van Damme, and they shook hands, and he's like, "Oh, I did the music for Bloodsport." He's like, "Oh," he's like, "the music was better than the movie." So he gave him quite a compliment.
Nice.
But I like
what I like about Stan Bush is he still sounds like Stan Bush. How many
He
times
does.
like for example Duran Duran, they changed their sound so much in the 90s, but if you look at Stan Bush, something from the 80s and something from now, he still sounds like Stan Bush. He
Sounds
still
the
has
same.
that. He's got that style has not changed, and it still rocks.
Still making music too.
What was good, Kahuna?
I'd imagine Bloodsport. Yeah, Fight to Survive. That was him. Kumite. And he also did the music for, or at least some music for Kickboxer, which was another Van Damme flick.
Van Damme had a lot of good fight movies.
He was a fight guy. He was almost a tournament guy.
Yeah.
Like Lionheart.
Yeah,
Lionheart.
Lionheart.
And The Quest.
Was it Kickboxer?
Which one was The Quest?
That was the one he actually directed, where he, the whole shtick is this guy gets invited to basically the Kumite, but not the Kumite, and he ends up taking that guy's place because he steals it, or he fights him and he wins. It's not the best of his flicks. People don't really look too high on The Quest. It's basically almost
Didn't even know it existed, to be honest.
It's really a retread of Bloodsport. It feels a lot like a retread of Bloodsport. But I had that one on VHS back, the Quest. I enjoy it. I know it's not the best. Worth a watch. Yeah, so it's a Van Damme night, huh? Okay, here it is. What series would be made better if you inserted Van Damme into it?
Boston Legal.
What's a fantasy one?
The Rings of Power.
The Adventures of Hercules, Xena.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow, that
There we
would be
go.
good. Yeah, I'd watch that.
I actually saw Kevin Sorbo doing an interview the other day. I don't remember what they were talking about, but he was talking about one of his new movies coming out.
What?
God's still not dead?
Yeah, Kevin Sorbo is still doing stuff.
Cool.
Oh yeah, there he is. That's Kevin. Oh, you know who turned out to be bass? Zachary Levi.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Shazam.
Yep, Shazam is based, y'all.
Not bad for the goofy kid from Chuck.
I always remember him from Scrubs, even though he was just on a handful of episodes.
No, Chuck was a rehash of another series that like failed on a different network, I think. What was that other one? It was something 2.0. No, not it was
Zach 2.0.
Yes, Zach 2.0.
I remember them being very similar.
Yeah, well, So it had a lot of similarities because in Zack 2.0 he gets infected. He's the tech support guy and he gets infected by stuff. But I think part of it was just like the side characters I think weren't as exciting or whatever because she was a scientist or something. The love interest person was like a scientist or something versus being the spy and
Fight the fairies! You fight those fairies! Fight the fairies!
That's a good one.
yeah,
But that's a disease I'll have. Zach 2.0 is a disease.
yeah, that would be a fun one.
You just get super duper fucking smart.
Kahuna asks, isn't Quest about a wrestler? Can't answer that because I never saw it. So.
That'd be hilarious. I just saw that in my head. You get hit by lightning. He's like, oh, looks like you contracted an alien disease from an unknown species. Your doctor sounds all legit, like Saturday. Looks like you're going to be super duper smart with no downsides. Well, see you later.
Yeah.
Any shows or games you guys are looking forward to? I'm actually kind of looking forward to Yar's Revenge, or not Yar's Revenge, but Yar's the new Yar's game coming out. I'm not sure how they're going to work that into the original lore, but
Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is coming out next week. I got it. So.
I'm thinking really hard.
now I played a demo for a game called Void Rot, which is kind of a Hollow Knight clone until after I played it for a few minutes, and it's got that same kind of tone, but it's got potential. The controls, I'm not in love with the controls. They're not bad, but they're not great. I just spent the last week playing Metroid Dread again, and those controls are so good that
I am looking forward to Dragon Age Veilguard. Not because I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be absolute ass, and I want to see it unfold. I'm going to sit back with popcorn and be like, "Oh man, I can't wait to see it."
Yeah, I'll agree with you with that one.
Like,
you love a good train wreck, don't you, Billy?
Huh? Well, I love the meme that Sybil has for it. They showed me while Larian was cooking, BioWare was microwaving. That's about it. Everything was. I don't know. This has been a shit year for gaming.
Yeah, I don't really know what's coming out except for the stuff that's been showing up in the memes.
Metroid Prime 4. Although that scares me, and here's why. Everybody does the twin analog stick control for first person now, and it's great that they put that in the Prime remaster. But if I can't use those, I keep going back to the classic GameCube controller because I suck at twin stick. And if Metroid Prime 4 is twin stick and doesn't have the classic GameCube, I'm going to be so lost in trying to maneuver in that game. So there's my worry.
You need to learn, old man. You need to learn.
Hey, when I was your age, I used to walk 5 miles through 3 feet of snow to get to school. Uphill both ways with no shoes.
Yep.
House of the Dragon was good.
House of the Dragon Season 2. Fuck that show. God, it was ass. Pissed me off.
Animation in a
God, it was ass. Why are you a nipple?
welcome, Lord Raider.
Hey. Oh my god. You're hearing me on my phone. I'm sorry.
No worries. Good to have you on. Welcome.
Good to be here.
Animation says you can't drive a stick. In a car, yes. In a first-person perspective game, no. I just end up in the corner of something just spinning in circles.
Put a chick in it, make her gay.
What do you think the controls are going to be for Prime 4 coming out?
Prime 4? You guys can hear me, right?
Yes, we can.
Yep.
Okay, good. I'm hoping it's not slow. I love the Prime games, but I can't stand how slow it is. sometimes.
Yeah, when you're crossing a map, it takes quite a while.
Especially Prime 1. I can't stand Magmor, but that's me. So I'm hoping they integrate some more of those movement mechanics. Can you imagine the flash shift in Prime 4?
Ooh, the flash shift was my favorite upgrade in Dread. It's like this is the upgrade I've been needing for I don't know how long. That thing is borderline broken, but not quite. I really like it.
It is amazing.
And with the speed booster, that can be broken. But
oh, look, I went AFK, and now there's a fifth person here. Hi, fifth person.
Hello. I don't know your names, but I'm Lore Raider. Wrangler invited me.
Yep.
Welcome to the stream.
Thank you.
Well, a quick reminder of the names if they stick. To my left, Billy Bobsack, and then Raven Nevermore, and then to your left is James Esparza.
You just call me James.
Well, thank you.
Ladies do.
Dread would suck to live in. Are you talking Judge Dredd or Metroid Dread?
Not if you're the judge.
Judge Dredd, I think.
Kahuna says, I want to play Castlevania Symphony of the Night, but my PC doesn't like it. That's available on PC. I might have to give it a shot then. I never had the system that it was on, so I never played it. Confirmation, Judge Dredd. Yeah, those mega cities, I'm not a fan of cities to begin with, so everybody living in a mega city? No.
That and you get put in like an isolation cube thing for breaking the law or just killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on not liking big cities. Especially right now.
I like people, just not all at the same time.
Yeah.
Depends on the city. You know, San Diego's nice. LA's a shithole. And I don't remember the last time I've stepped foot in San Francisco.
What? No, I love this big, dirty factory air, guys. Come on, you're missing out.
I thought I lived in like a area that was like quote unquote dirty. Then I went to LA. It's like everything's got a stain on it. Why does everything got a stain on it?
The stains have stains, man.
Some of them did. Talk to a stain expert, but it was nice though. People were real great. The food was amazing. That's what really was.
I love the poop map out in California. That's awesome.
That's mostly San Francisco. We don't, yeah.
Christian, the Seattle's the home of you people, you types.
Well, you Seattleans are lucky. You got all the rain to wash all the stains away,
Yeah, but you don't want to know what's mixed in with the rain when it gets washed away. All right.
Fair.
New York City. I don't want to live there. Ugh.
Escape from New York City.
I've been to New York. No alleyways. Trash on the sidewalk. Not my thing.
Rats the size of a fucking dog. That was so funny during the Coof stuff. Everyone stopped. They forced everyone to not go out, so the rats started eating each other because there was no fucking food thrown on the ground.
Wow.
So they were starting to starve.
Oh, yeah.
What was it? I saw a couple years ago, like some town where obviously not in the U.S., but a whole bunch of monkeys just started roaming through the town like a street gang and just causing problems.
Probably in India.
Nature's wonders. Animals are assholes. I don't care what people tell me.
That sounds like San Francisco, They have the attraction of poop streets,
That is such a shame, though. San Francisco, from what I understand, used to be just gorgeous and clean.
Oh,
now
yeah.
it's anything but.
It's a base. It used
I
to
guess
be
the
better.
weather's still good, but
When I was
the trolleys were really fun to ride on, and I don't know that they. I don't know how fun that attraction is anymore with all the poop.
yes, the trolleys, you can get all over the place on those things, and the air was fresh. It used to be beautiful, man. They ruined a very beautiful city.
This is how they fight in Seattle, you know.
Kung Pao entered the fist. Now that's a movie.
You said it's anything but. But what? Who said it's anything but? I'm confused now.
I said San Francisco used to be gorgeous. Now it's anything but.
Oh, okay.
Failed policy, I suppose. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Remember, you were allowed to steal up to what was it, $800 worth of shit?
Oh,
No, I think it was just under 1,000.
they're changing it up now. It's a three. They're headed towards a 3-strike system. You only get to steal twice now.
Yeah, it was so funny because they had like literally organized people like raiding the shit as long as they stole under the amount of money, and they just kept doing it. Couldn't arrest them.
Depends on the neighborhood, man. Really depends on the neighborhood.
Yeah, well, New York City, I think they have what no bail crimes, and so the police bring them in, and then they turn around and let them go.
I'm looking at your future.
Oh, Lore Raider, you said Castlevania went well into the 2000s for its timeline. What did they went all futuristic in that?
Yes, it's a long story. Capcom went off the rails a little bit. I think it goes into like the 2100s or something like that by the end.
Oh wow, I had no idea. I thought it ended in the 80s, and I'm trying to remember the name of the Belmont guy in that, but
Julius Belmont?
maybe it's not coming to me right now.
Well,
Maybe that is, but
you had the Aria of Sorrows, the Soma game. They're in the 2000s.
steal $1 million once, shame on me. Steal $1 million twice, shame on you.
How goes the book that you're working on?
I got the prologue done and partially done with a couple chapters. Kind of working on some setup stuff right now. It's how it goes sometimes. You like sit there and you bust your brain for like a week on one spot, and then all of a sudden you break past that and then kind of flow ways, and then you hit another spot where you're jammed up for a bit. So it's going to be a little while.
Well, I wish you luck on that.
Well, thank you. You ever consider making a game?
Me? I can't even get past writing a 5-page script. I'm not making no game.
Which book is this one? Animation. This would be Mystified Investigations, which will branch off into United States Stellar Marshals.
You have a lot of writing ahead of you, right?
Yeah. And I want to have both of them done and release them simultaneous because they kind of happen concurrently.
Who knows? Maybe you'll get your own Lore Raider to make Lore Raider videos on your books one day. Wrangler.
I got enough to keep track of. Yeah. But animation, Elizabeth will be the main character in Mystified Investigations.
Yeah, creating your own lore can be quite the daunting task. Wrangler, especially yours. How are you planning on dealing with the multiverse stuff again?
Oh, they're only going from one universe to another once through the whole series. They're just like going from Universe 9 to Universe 7. That's the whole mainline series. At the end of the series, they're going to go multiverse hopping, looking for where Gus came from, because Gus is not originally from Universe 7. He got there by accident, so he's going to go looking for his home universe, and that's when I'll start doing things like have him hop into universes with different physics systems and stuff like that, and hopefully be able to collaborate with some other authors and do some crossovers. That's going to be more all fun and games type stuff rather than we're here to save the world from blah, blah, blah,
Night, Christina.
Good night.
Have a great night, Christy.
If you're crossing over with other authors, you're going to make my job hard when it comes to scaling it.
Actually, it might make it easier because once you see how they react to each other, it gives you something more solid to work with.
That's true.
Unless it's like a Marvel DC crossover, which half of them are not canon and the other half are semi-canon.
True.
It's just made for selling books.
I don't think you want me to tell you that your characters are wall level, though.
Yeah, Samus is well beyond whale level. That's
my favorite.
It reminded me of that a few weeks ago. Danco did a versus battle on his channel with Samus, and she used her grapple beam and yanked a big whale creature out of the lava and onto the land. And so he was like, her strength is whale level. Her strength is, what do you say, during the first game, her strength out of the suit is probably on par. Would you agree with Captain America?
Ooh, yeah, I'd say so.
But she gets far stronger even out of the suit later on, I think.
No more. Because at 3 years old, remember, the pirates drop a bomb on her town. Everyone survives.
Yeah. Her and the Wascally Xeno at it.
This might be lost on some other people, though.
Yeah. If Skunks is still here, I know he'll get it. Skunks, by the way, if you are still here, do you have an ETA on how much longer in the game? I know you want to make sure you probably don't want to lock yourself into a time limit, but I am looking forward to trying that thing.
Oh, good luck on the game, Skunks. Good luck.
Oh, Wrangler is I haven't read your literature, but is there much is there like telekinesis, psychic exploration stuff going on?
Yes.
Interesting. I've been going on a dive down that lately because I had to do a freaking video on, what do they do it? Remote viewing, which I didn't realize had its own subculture. And just face.
I learned about that from Coast to Coast AM back when I was doing overnight security. I used to listen to Art Bell all the time.
Yes, the video I was doing was on the government's funding of remote viewing, which is where the whole
was that with Major Ed Dames, I believe.
Yes, and it was a lot of Men Who Stare at Goat stuff and beyond that. For anybody who doesn't know, remote viewing is essentially think really hard, and you can like telepathically see somewhere else on the planet.
Or explode goats.
Or explode goat hearts. Stop their hearts. Yeah. Movie wasn't that good, unfortunately.
I don't think they were ever successful at exploding goats.
No, I ordered a book on it so I could do deeper research.
Yeah, remember Jonathan Frakes' show, Fact or Fiction? I think one of his episodes they actually explored remote viewing and deemed it fact.
Ooh, interesting. I know it's got this gigantic subculture I wasn't expecting to exist.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a bunch of crazy and fascinating subcultures on lots of things.
Yeah, there's something similar to remote viewing briefly in the second book. An elf was observing a mystical barrier over Antarctica.
What would you say are your chief inspirations for your series?
My friend Sonnet. I mean, yes, this was originally intended to be a Metroidvania video game, but there's a lot of different inspirations in there. Like, there's a website called Avatar Energy Mastery Institute, which I heavily based the magic system off of their philosophies. Haley's potato gun was actually based off of Megatron's arm cannon. But the character itself, it was my friend Sonnet. We were joking about launching cats out of a potato gun, and she got all excited. Said, "You should make a game," and that's what triggered the whole thing into motion.
Yes, I think I did that on a previous stream. Now that you mention it, do you have sort of a planned end game? Like, you already know where you want to go, or is this sort of spontaneous?
Yeah, I do. I do have the end of the series planned out. I'm just trying to figure out how to get from where I am to there.
That's the hard part.
Yeah. I have the basic timeline mapped out. Well, what's fun is with the Stellar Marshals, I get to take them off-world, away from all the chaos that's happening on Earth in their reality. And there's a lot of stuff I got to keep track of. But I still think that James has more to keep track of in his.
Well, I mean, you're writing a story that's in the world. And, I'm more of just a short story writer who writes it in a perpetual world, as it is. So there's always a lot to keep track of.
Yeah. Readout's joined us. What's up, Readout? He says, I make my cameo in the chat and get rest for work tomorrow. All right. Hopefully the craziness ends for you soon. You could rejoin us at some point in the very near future. Have a good night, man.
Have a good night.
Yeah, he's been very busy lately.
Work.
That reminds me, he said something earlier on Discord, I think it was, that I wanted to bring up, but I completely forgot what it was. I'm going to have to go find it.
Take a look.
I have plenty of moments like that where I'm like, oh, I want to talk about this on the stream tonight. Then we have the stream, and then I don't think about it until afterwards.
Boy, that sucks. I mean, I had a few brain farts during the stream. At least 3 now.
Brain fart is my thought process.
I hate when that happens.
Happens far too often during the live stream, but it's cool.
I heard someone's cat.
That is my dog. My dog running by.
Whoops. Got some loud vehicles going by. Sorry about that, guys.
No problem.
We got a dog playing in the next room, so he's loud as shit at times.
So, Wrangler, what do you want out of the the next? So, who that you're looking forward to? Any that you have high hope for, or you really want to see something?
Oh, like I already mentioned, Metroid Prime 4, but I am worried that I might be stuck with exclusively a twin stick control system on that, and I suck at it. I hope they still have the old Prime style, Prime 1 style controls, the GameCube. There we go, GameCube style control, where you can, as an option. But what did you think of the motion controllers in Prime 3?
I know that's controversial. I thought it was a brilliant attempt. I was never really a fan of the GameCube, but I came after. I played that way later after the GameCube's cycle. I wouldn't mind if they refine that system, honestly.
Yeah. The in remaster, the motion controls they weren't quite as tight and snappy as the Wii version on the Wiimotes there. But in Prime 3, I like the Wiimote, especially with the grapple beam, because when you like take the nunchuck and whip it forward, and you end up with the grapple beam coming out, and then you yank the shield out of a space pirate's hands. I love that.
I mean, it feels good because it's kind of like you're using the arm cannon almost in a way.
Yeah. Can get a little tiresome holding your arm out the whole time, though. I will admit, but
with Prime 4, do we have a release date on that, actually?
What's that?
Do we have a release date on Prime 4 yet?
No, just sometime in 2025. They didn't say what month yet.
I see.
You think it's going to be a cross-gen release when they do it?
You think this is going to be the last Prime game, or you think we're just going to keep getting Prime games?
I don't know. A lot of people are theorizing that time travel is a big part of this one.
Well, the question is, like, what is it beyond, right? That's the big question.
Yeah. Oh, we're probably not going to see actual Metroid Prime return. They're probably done with Dark Samus. Which is fine. They bring her back, they'll probably, like, there's a good chance they'll, like, ruin her.
I mean, I don't know. I think she could have been developed way more. I don't actually think she gets a lot of characterization in Prime 3. I think that was a wasted part of the game, personally.
Yeah, good point. She seems to get more characterization in Smash Bros.
I agree. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if they brought her back and then put her in Metroid 6. Just write her out of the timeline for a few years.
Yeah, I mean, she is kind of the... in Metroid 6. I hope we see a Metroid 6 sooner rather than later. Because I'm a bigger fan of the side-scrollers than the first person.
Agreed. Let me get my pizza, folks. I'll be right back.
All righty. Pizza.
Oh, it was hurricane coverage.
What's that?
The readout was talking about on Discord earlier.
Oh, yeah. We touched on that a little bit, the crazy weather down there at the East Coast.
Yeah, well, one of the things that he mentioned was the fact that it seems like the media really isn't covering it. You know, considering...
No, it was raining for like 2 to 3 days, and I'm like, oh, man. Then I was like, oh, East Tennessee's flooding, and there was a hurricane. What?
Yeah, my friend dealt with multiple days of rain as well. Crazy stuff out there.
Yeah, but like the media isn't saying much about it.
Mm-hmm.
What was the name of the hurricane?
Helene?
So they didn't make it Hurricane Helena, Troy?
Right.
So maybe that's... I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's letters.
Big storm. And evidently we're getting more or something.
Yeah, someone's dealing with some wet works. Got some.
I don't know. It's just funny. My town didn't, and the town next to me didn't flood this time. That would have sucked if it did happen again.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
apparently there's a lot of little towns in North Carolina that have just disappeared.
Whoa. There's a reason we don't.
Yeah, I'm hearing that there's a lot more damage done than I was expecting from a hurricane.
There's a reason we don't have a lot of farmland out there in the hurricane and tornado areas. It's basically that.
What are you talking about? We have all kinds of farmland stuff in the tornado valleys.
Percentage wise,
We have quite a
compared
few.
to other locations, like you have some places that they jam pack tons of farms into because it's just generally good weather and the low natural disaster rates in comparisons to those locations, which, yeah, tornadoes and hurricanes lately, actually. Yeah, I'm sure somehow this is all our fault.
Yeah, speaking of our fault, evidently the Ubisoft CEO says
Oh,
the gamers are expecting too much.
yeah, okay, whatever. Ubisoft, Ubipass, Ubifailing.
You're so high. And I'm like, sure,
Dude.
sure, CEO, sure.
You know what, man? I asked my nephew, do you remember, have you ever heard of Sony Online Interactive? He says no. Well, when he has a child, I'm going to ask him the exact same thing about Ubisoft, and I expect him to say no.
I'm gonna ask them, do you remember BioWare? And they're gonna be like, what? Huh?
Sounds like a disease,
I'm like,
Grandpa.
Do you think
BioWare?
Ubisoft's going to get bought out?
What?
Do you think Ubisoft's going to go under?
They're
Probably
gonna get bought by a different
yeah,
company. That's all it's gonna
they're
happen.
going Chinese. They're going
Yeah.
Chinese.
That's all that'll happen. I mean,
Yeah. Can you? I can't wait for the pro-Chinese Splinter Cell.
China.
they said America is causing terrorism to China.
I don't know. Even China wants good video games.
The what?
I said even China wants good video games.
Yeah, but that'd be for everyone else. That's the thing. But not really. I mean, they kind of have like major restrictions on video games and heavily censored and all that other shit.
Well, that Wukong game been a big hit.
I'm just glad they released Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown before they totally shot themselves in
Yeah,
the foot.
but that one was funny because you had people going, I'm going to own the libs and the woke-tards by buying Wukong, man. I'm going to buy it, man. I'm going to own all them by the company that fucking country that funds all the DEI shit.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
you know what?
Oh, you really owned them, guys. You really owned them.
People don't look at where this stuff comes from. They just look at the marketing and then they buy it or hate it.
I know, but it's just when that happened, I'm like, buy the game if you want it. I mean, I'm not saying don't buy it, but I'm like, don't go, ooh, I own the woke tars. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah,
You're funding the woke cards.
If you're inspired to buy something based on political leanings, it's probably not going to be that good. I don't care which way it's leaning.
Like ISOM?
I don't know. I still haven't read issue 2. I can't say if it's all that great or not. I read issue 1, and I've read better. I've read worse. It was a comic book.
Really
I do
well.
have Wisdom 2. I still need to read through it, but I guess it's okay.
The
What do you think of the ISOMs?
There's a whole bunch more in that universe now that I haven't gotten to or haven't ordered, so I don't know if I'm going to catch up on it or not. I got too much stuff to catch up on as it is.
Oh yeah.
It's been so long since I've read them, I can't even tell you.
But I'll say this: him launching the Rippaverse really did help inspire a whole bunch of other people to start working on their stuff too. Seeing him gain that momentum lit a fire under a bunch of other people's butts and generated some good positive energy for creators. So
did the Rings of Power.
The what?
So did the Rings of Power.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Yeah, that put a lot of momentum in creators. Lit a fire underneath their butts.
A fire to make videos about it and make. That's for sure.
I'm sorry. I was actually watching the episodes because I was wanting to do something like covering the maps and stuff, but I got to a certain point and towards the end where I couldn't even remember the episode, and so
Well,
it's like, did I even watch it?
Raven, they were also made by Maps as well.
Oh,
I'll never understand why people will buy the rights to a series and then proceed to think that they're smarter than the series that they just bought.
yeah, that is so weird. Yeah, if you're gonna do that, just make your own IP. I mean,
because of merchandising.
Not everybody's as brilliant as yogurt.
Or Tolkien.
I'm just glad they haven't gotten around to Stargate yet.
Oh, James, wait, they will.
I don't know. They're kind
I
of
just
losing.
saw evidently they did a Spiders of Chronicles and it's fucking race swap shit and all this other stuff. And I'm like, oh,
They did a what?
Spiderwick Chronicles.
Spiderwick.
It was a like kids book series.
Okay.
Well, the problem with all the ethno swapping is they're just doing it to say, "See, we did it." It's not like back when, I know it's not the greatest movie, but in Daredevil, not too many people were complaining about Michael Clark Duncan playing Kingpin. I thought he carried himself very well in that role. Nobody was griping about Sam Jackson playing Nick Fury. But when they started doing all that just to virtue signal, that's when people got pissed off, and then they go like, "Oh, you're a bigot." No, or not. Sometimes it works out well, but when you're doing it just to do it, that's just disingenuous, and we tend not to like that stuff, you know?
Indeed.
May the Schwartz be with you.
Yeah, and that was one of the things that really screwed up Cowboy Bebop. Because they did all the race swapping, and it's like all the characters had stuff specific to their lineage and stuff. You know, like most people running around with generic mass-produced stuff, but then the individual characters that the story was about had their own special things that were kind of related to who they were as a person and their background.
And it ended up getting canceled, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, like a lot of other shows. Remember Lovecraft Country?
I don't.
Oh, you're talking about where they disavowed H.P. Lovecraft and then like, all right, now we're going to take his stories.
Yeah.
His world.
Yeah. Well, right. About his stories. There was hardly any Lovecraftian stuff in it.
Yeah. I mean, people just think of Lovecraft as the weird guy with the monsters that are unexplainable and they go crazy. But he was really a big fan of science, and a lot of his monsters and monsters and their abilities and stuff came from a lot of science around him as much as it came from like his nightmares and stuff. So, you know, like Color Out of Space was, I believe, based off of the discovery of UV rays at the time. You know, there can be a lot of untapped inspiration and potential in the new scientific discoveries. I'd like to see people who are inspired by Lovecraft to really explore that side of his inspirations as well, other than the things that haunted his dreams, which seem to overtake him. And I only bring that up because, holy shit, as somebody who's been like, you know, spooky season right across the freaking corner, I've been trying to consume a lot of horror stories lately, and they're not scary. They're all very predictable and bullshit. It's just like, someone writes something fresh. This all sucks. We need something that's scary again.
To be fair, horror is very simple with that, right?
What was that?
I think horror has horror inherently has diminishing returns, right? Like inherently it'll get less scary, right? So I think it's a little hard to do sometimes.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, explore things that haven't been explored too much. Like, I think the scariest story I heard recently was a short story about somebody running into a pair of crackheads in the backwoods. I'm like, you know, That actually is really scary because you can literally imagine that. I'm thinking, I'm actually like a little freaked out here. It's like, I don't need these magnificent big ghoulish monsters. Just to throw it on top, since we're in minor bitch mode, Wendigo stories. Nothing less scary than a Wendigo story because they're all the exact same.
I beat in your pool! Yay!
You guys a fan of J-horror by chance?
Japanese horror? I've explored some genre, but not too much. I got half a burger in my mouth. I apologize. One that I thought was kind of interesting was I don't know what it's called, but the Japanese horror genre that's just beyond excessively gory to the point where it's almost nonsensical. I don't know what it's called, but it's funny. It's like a person gets stabbed and then they explode in like a gigantic human-sized balloon of just fake blood. It's hilarious.
I never heard of it.
Yeah, one of the movies that's underneath that category is called I think it's called The Japanese Suicide Club or something like that, which I probably just got the stream demonetized for that one.
Yeah, that was the movie Logan Paul was in, right?
Was he? I don't know. I know he was in an episode. This is a funny one. Logan Paul was in an episode of Law and Order that was about Gamergate. It was a Gamergate inspired Law and Order.
Oh, brother.
Yeah.
Well, I still don't understand what the whole Gamergate thing was about, and I kind of don't care.
It was about kind of the stuff that we see now, kind of foreshadowing it. It was about essentially just journalists having their own little cabals and controlling narrative. That was what it essentially came down to.
And complaining about gamer dudes being gamer dudes and not complying with their journalistic.
Yeah, and they released the infamous "Gamers Are Dead" articles, which is they all released them all at once. And at that time, it was pretty much unheard of to see that sort of sequential releases of news, and yet it just came out of nowhere. All these different articles saying how gaming doesn't need gamers. Gamers are dead. Like, damn.
No. A bunch of gamers should get together and write articles about journalists, see how they like it. and make sure the vernacular in the article matches the vernacular that you get in those Call of Duty lobbies.
Oh, damn.
Journalism is dead. Oh, wait. Is that a reality?
Kinda.
It's time for wrap up.
Yes, sir.
James.
I'm James Esparza, creator and operator of World Without End, a lovely world that fits in a multitude of genres such as horror and whatnot. It's basically my own playground to write my short stories that I release on my Substack, and I'm currently working on a novella that is entering the editing phase, and I am also finishing up a short story to release in Halloween, something to spook you guys out. And a YouTube video, which is going to be up on my YouTube channel at World Without End Lore on YouTube. But you can find all my stuff at worldwithoutendlore.substack.com.
Nice. What was his name?
Have a good night, Animation Overload. Lore Raider.
Oh, hi, I'm the Lore Raider, a local nobody. Thanks for having me on.
You also got a YouTube channel to shill.
Oh, yes. You can find Lore Raider YouTube on YouTube. If you just look up the Lore Raider, I have videos about scaling. Yes.
All right. Yeah, he's got stuff covering Metroid, Tomb Raider, and Bayonetta. Go check it out. It's actually a lot of fun. I enjoy the videos very much, which is why you're here.
I need money, please.
Raven.
Hey, I'm going to say check out ironage.media. I believe, let's see, has Anvil #3 come out? But anyways, check out their magazines. They're pretty awesome.
You're really selling it.
Bye, Christian. Bye, Christian.
Hey, Kahuna.
Hey, how's it going, Lord Raider? Doing good, man?
Yes, good. How's it going, Kahuna?
Oh, it's red. It's dark.
What's
The
up,
night is
Kahuna?
dark and full of terrors. I'm glad I got here just as you guys were getting started. It'd be a shame if I missed the entire damn show.
Oh, you know, the green room sections are often the funnest.
Yeah, I was having a great time back there backstage. My shirt was off. It was a grand old time.
Yay.
Anyway, I'm here to shill. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, we got it.
Look at the shirt you are wearing. Somebody can.
Oh
use
yeah,
a little-
AC. It was your fault. I was shirtless at that party too. They came out, give me a hug, and it exploded. It went everywhere. And then I was shirtless for 6 hours. That was fun.
Frankly, I'll be frank. If AC hugged you unexpectedly from behind, I think anyone would explode, you know? Just throwing that out there.
China.
China! Sorry, I'm horrible. That's horrible.
How does he make it sound so erotic? Anyway, yeah, no. Buy Record of the Paladins by B.P. McCoppin.
There's
Mr.
so much
Brian
stuff
McCoppin.
there.
He had a whole bunch of his personal copies get ruined recently, and he was right there in the middle of Florida getting all effed up. So yeah, go
I
check him
heard
out.
that happened. Yeah, water damage.
Yeah, I accidentally started a rumor. I said 3,000 copies, and then he didn't see the joke, and then everybody was like, "Wow, I can't believe you lost 3,000 copies. That's a lot." I'm like, "Oh Jesus." Start another fake internet rumor like Billy Bob Straight.
Speaking of Billy Bob,
I'm sorry. Hold up.
You get criticized either way. I tried both ways.
Ooh,
I meant short and taller women, obviously. That's obviously what that meant.
No, because we followed it up with this.
I had to pull something out of my butthole, and that was the best I could come up with. You've clearly never dated a Polynesian woman. That was all
I
I'm
don't know.
saying.
It's a little sus how much clips you have of a man. You do a little stalking over there.
Are you saying that frequency's gay?
Don't toss that on Frequency.
Hold
it's
up,
not
hold
his
up.
fault.
It's on his channel.
You're pressing the buttons, boy. You're pressing the buttons.
You're Billy. You're like the cop that drops the bag in the car and like, oh, look what we found here. Looks like somebody's into the stuff. Also, Raven, I love it. I support open carry swords. I did see that in California. You know, just to F with California, we should all, like, James, you live there. We'll send you a sword, man. It'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah, cane sword would be nice.
Mm. You know, it'd also be nice. You know, for real.
Gun, your fingers.
Yes, the finger, obviously.
Finger
I heard a
gun.
finger can do a lot of damage. I don't know. I'm not Billy, so I couldn't say.
no. Speaking of which, Billy, where can we find you?
On Only Gremlins on Substack.com.
Speaking of fingers doing a lot of damage, find me on Only Gremlins.
And also on Billy Bob Sack on YouTube, in which I do art chill streams every now and then. About it.
Anyway, y'all, you heard him.
Billy Bobbin on Sack on YouTube.com. That's it.
I had to pull something out of my butthole, and that was the best I could come up with. I'm glad I made an impact. Anyway.
All right.
I mean, what about you? You have a couple of books, rumor has it.
Yes, Haley Star Bad Kitty and Bad Kitty Haley's World. You can find them both on Amazon. You can also find me, Frequency Studios, on Substack. I should have the first short story spin-off going up there in the next month or so.
Sweet.
And you can also find me on X, Truth, and Minds under Frequency Studios. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. It was a blast. If you enjoyed this presentation, hit the like, and if you didn't, I appreciate you stopping by. We'll see you next time, and God bless.
Kahuna makes an impact every time he takes a step.
Yeah, I heard
what he
Japan-
said.
Also, screw you, man.
Screw
I
you,
bet
man.
you would. And here we call the freaking Billy Bob freaking gay. This guy's trying to screw me.
I mean, Billy really, really wants Otter to be gay. I mean, I've never seen a guy want another man to be homosexual as often as Billy wants Otter
No,
to be gay.
he wants Otter to be a furry.
And
Otter
gay.
was the furry.
Otter is a furry.
He is a furry.
He's literally calling himself Otter.
He was like, all right, now make him gay.
Well, you kind of got a point there.
Hold up, Christian. Hold up.
Oh, hold up. Now he has something to say. Look at the little bit. Now we're not face to
Pull up the
face.
screen. Pull
Little
up the
baby
screen.
back bitch.
Listen, pull up the screen. He's not even from the South, but he's wearing this cowboy hat. He was nude earlier. I mean,
they wore cowboy
things
hats
aren't
in the
adding
West.
up.
I think
Things
he's
aren't
comparing
adding
me
up.
to Matthew McConaughey, and I've heard it before, but you know.
I think you're wearing some assless chaps. We know.
Oh, I haven't. Never mind. We're not getting into that.
Oh God! All right, end the stream. Just end it.
And everything. Actually, click the off switch. Just
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.